Okay, you guys, we are back with another video. I'm back from the dead. So I saw the comments yesterday when you guys were sending me prayers and well wishes after I told you guys how I've been battling with my sinuses. Guys, let me tell you, I haven't had an experience so bad with my sinuses for maybe more than 10 years now. It is something that I would go through at a younger age, but I haven't experienced it like this maybe for 10 years now. And when I tell you it was bad, it was so bad. If I tell you what I passed out, only those who have those sinus problems would understand. So the medicines that I was taking seems to be working. I feel like I can breathe now. So I guess the polyps are not so irritated and swollen anymore. And when I use the nasal spray, one thing I've learned is that when you use the nasal spray, honey, lie down so it can settle and touch those polyps and all the areas that it needs to go to so it can work. Now, we're going to talk about Cardi, honey, because Cardi is gaslighting us, and I don't like it. It's nothing to be taken serious, though, but Cardi is gaslighting us. Now, why I say she's gaslighting us is because the internet is rarely ever on one accord. We know that, right? And we know the next thing is that whenever the internet is on one accord, what does that mean? It's true. When the internet is on one accord, it is true. So what had happened was Cardi was at her show, right? And she, was about to do one of her songs, and she was like, you never had a bitch like me. Many niggers out there praying for a girl like me. I'm too grown to be messed with. I'm too fine to be messed with. I'm too sexy to be played with. Yada, yada, yada. Right? So, I said when Cardi B did that, she was hyping up her fans because she knows that we know that a report was just put out that her and Stefon Diggs have parted ways. So because she knows that that report has been out there, she's hyping up the fan base to say she's a strong, independent woman and she can leave a nigger any minute because she can get another nigger any minute she wants to, right? So the clip went viral. Everyone was talking about it, even the media outlets. And I was like, Cardi B shouldn't have given this man her energy, because when it's in the media, it is different. When we talk about it, it's one thing, but when it's in the media, honey, that's not something you can come back from, because I said she's going to go back to the guy, right? And after you have those talks, and when you go back to the guy, you're going to be like a dog eating its vomit, right? So Cardi B evidently got wind of what the internet was saying, and she replied saying that she wasn't talking about anyone. That was her little razzle-dazzle that she would normally do before her performance. And she could be speaking the truth. She could be speaking the truth, right? I believe what she's saying is half true. I believe, she does do her little razzle-dazzle. But how often have we seen that little razzle-dazzle? Have we seen it often? No, we haven't seen it often, right? So when the internet, said, oh, this is her, sending a strong message to Diggs, some people are saying, are you sure it's Diggs? Why couldn't it be Offset? And I said it couldn't be Offset because she has closed out that chapter in her life. She has had a baby with Stefon Diggs, and you can't be throwing jabs at Offset knowing that Stefon Diggs is treating her like shit. It would be pointless. She would be mindless. It would be clueless of her to be doing that. There's no one up on Offset here. Offset won this round. Like Offset won the entire round if you think about it. Offset won the entire round. Men are lethal. Men are lethal. And this is why, as women, we need to be truly patient with ourselves. And we need to take time to know these men, because men are lethal. They're very much lethal. And men would equally say women are lethal just the same based on their experience. But we know that Offset has done Cardi B really bad, and then she moved on to this little boy. Every time I look at Stefon Diggs, I'm looking at him like an 18-year-old boy, someone that's between the age of 18 and 22, immature, right? She moved on with Stefon Diggs, and she was so brave and so bold on that Gayle King interview, saying that he said, "Let me heal you." Cardi B needs a book. She needs a book. She needs to write down how many times she keeps embarrassing herself. Because every time she goes on a hype about something, she keeps embarrassing herself. And it's not a good look for her. I hate it for her, to be very honest. As a woman and as a mother, I definitely hate it for her. I hate that she keeps embarrassing herself like this. It seems as though Cardi B, even though she's an adult, it seems as though there's a part of her mentally that is still a child. You know, that sweet, innocent child who just believes that the world is a beautiful, safe place, and we don't know that there are monsters in the light and in the dark lurking around. That's Cardi B. She doesn't know that the world is not as innocent as it appears to be. And don't get me wrong, we're all naive and stupid about things at times, but when you look at her choice in men, and how she sticks around, it's as though they have to do her really bad before she gets it and say she's going to walk away. And that's what makes it so bad, With Offset, I understand, because that was her husband and they took a vow together, and no one can knock her for trying to make her marriage work. No one can knock her for that, right? But with Stefon Diggs, what's the excuse? And she keeps talking about the baby, and she needs to realize that no one is focused on the innocent child. People are focused on her and her well-being, because she's telling us now that that's her little razzle-dazzle that she normally does before her show, and that's her gaslighting us. She wants us to believe that, but we don't believe it. I believe that it is half true. I believe she wanted to hype up her fans because, as I said, she used drama and theatrics to keep her fan base engaged. Drama and theatrics. And if you weren't paying attention then, I believe you can see it now that what I was saying is true. She used drama and theatrics to keep her fan base engaged. But to say that the internet has it wrong, I don't think the internet has it wrong this time around. For so many of us to be on one accord, which is rare, as I've said before, just as though when she was going to marry to Offset, the internet told her not to marry to Offset. She's going to regret marrying him. That came to pass. When she got with Stefon Diggs, many people were happy for her because no one knew Stefon Diggs over pop culture. We never know that Stefon Diggs was the devil's advocate, honey. We were over here on pop culture, but then we started putting 1 and 2 together. We started looking at how Young Miami was out of there in no time. And then when Tasha K was coming with the baby mama receipts, she's going to hate Tasha K forever. Tasha K, you should have kept that woman's secret. But it couldn't be kept a secret because, it's pregnancy. TMZ saw him leaving the hospital with a baby mama and all of that. So Tasha K couldn't have kept that secret for you, honey. But I'm just saying, Cardi B, I know you hype up your fans, but I believe that was a jab at Stefon Diggs. And the internet believes so too. So this is going to be a tough one for you to convince us that it wasn't. We're not buying it. And when the internet is saying they believe it's Diggs, I'm right on board with the internet on this one. But let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below, and we're going to talk some more in the comment section. Peace.